Today we're embarking on a special journey, exploring the life and legacy of Chairman Ho Chi Minh, a hero of national liberation and an outstanding cultural figure of Vietnam. In 1987, UNESCO honored him with that title, and it's no coincidence. A man with a burning love for his country, shining morality, and progressive thinking, that's the great Ho Chi Minh. Over the next 20 minutes, I'll take you through his story, from his early days, his quest to save the nation, to the legacy he left for us today. Are you ready? Let's dive in. Part 1, Childhood and Patriotism. Chairman Ho Chi Minh, born Nguyen Sin Kung, came into this world on May 19, 1890, in Hong Tru Village, Nam Dan, Nayan. From a young age, he grew up in a scholarly Confucian family that loved their country. His father was Nguyen Sin Sak, and his mother was Hong Ti Lon, both instilled in young Kung a deep love for his homeland and a hatred for oppressors. From 1901 to 1911, while living in Hue, the young Nguyen Tat Ton, his name during school years, saw Vietnam under French colonial rule. On one side, the working people suffered in poverty, exploited and brutally suppressed during tax protests. On the other, the French colonizers lived in luxury and excess. This stirred a question in him: why are our people suffering so much? How can we save our country? And so, he resolved, a new path must be found. He once said, "I want to go abroad to see France and other countries. After learning how they do things, I'll return to help our people." That burning desire to save the nation started right there. Part 2, The Journey to Find a Path to Salvation. On June 5, 1911, from Na Rong Wharf in Saigon, young Nguyen Tat Ton boarded the ship Admiral Latouche Treville, beginning a historic journey. Under the name Nguyen Ai Quoc, he worked to earn a living while studying and exploring countries across Asia, Europe, Africa, and the Americas. He once told a Russian journalist, "When I was about 13, I first heard the three French words, liberty, equality, fraternity. I wanted to uncover what lay behind them." But when he arrived in France, he realized, poverty and injustice exist everywhere. Colonizers, no matter where, were the enemies of the working people. From there, he joined the French workers' movement, became a member of the French Socialist Party, and in 1919, sent the demands of the enemies' people to the Versailles Conference, calling for freedom for his nation. The turning point came in 1920 when he read Lenin's theses on national and colonial questions. He found the path to salvation: proletarian revolution. He wrote, "This is what we need, this is the path to our liberation." From a patriot, Nguyen Ai Quoc became Vietnam's first communist, a monumental shift. Part 3, Founder of the party and leader of the revolution. In the 1920s and 1930s, Nguyen Ai Quoc was tireless. He founded the Union of Oppressed Colonial Peoples and wrote The Trial of French Colonialism. He established the Vietnam Revolutionary Youth League in Guangzhou and published Youth, Vietnam's first revolutionary newspaper. His 1927 book The Revolutionary Path became a guiding light for the revolution ahead. On February 3, 1930, he chaired the conference that united three communist groups, founding the Communist Party of Vietnam, a massive milestone that ended the crisis of revolutionary direction. He said, "The people's strength is immense, but it needs a party to lead it to certain victory." After 30 years abroad, he returned to Vietnam on January 28, 1941, to directly lead the revolution. The 1941 Pac Bo Conference prioritized national liberation above all else. And then, on September 2, 1945, at Ba Dinh Square, he read the Declaration of Independence: "Vietnam has the right to enjoy freedom and independence, and in fact, it has become a free and independent nation." That moment wasn't just Vietnam's pride, it was a resounding voice for oppressed nations worldwide. Part 4, A Leader for the Nation and the People. After 1945, the country faced countless challenges: famine, illiteracy, and the French colonialists returning to invade. But with his genius leadership, he steered the revolutionary ship through every storm. He declared, "We'd rather sacrifice everything than lose our country or live as slaves." The 1954 Dien Bien Phu victory was proof of his strategic brilliance. In 1965, as the U.S. escalated the war, he affirmed, "Nothing is more precious than independence and freedom." His life was a shining example of simplicity and closeness to the people. Living in a modest stilt house, eating rice with fish sauce, he always put the nation's welfare first. Part 5: Legacy and Ho Chi Minh's Ideology Today. On September 2, 1969, Chairman Ho Chi Minh passed away, leaving behind his sacred testament: "Build a Vietnam that is peaceful, united, independent, democratic, and prosperous." His ideology, national independence tied to socialism, remains Vietnam's guiding star today. We learn from his moral example: live simply, love the people, and prioritize the collective good over personal gain. In business, his ideas remind us of social responsibility and building a sustainable community. The party and state still emphasize, studying and following Ho Chi Minh's ideology, morality, and style is an ongoing task. Ho Chi Minh isn't just a leader, he's the father and teacher of our nation. Let's spread his spirit together. And that wraps up our 10-minute journey. Ho Chi Minh, a life dedicated to the nation and people, a shining example forever. If you found this video meaningful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to support me in creating more great content. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.